Our story begins on the 4th of January, an otherwise unremarkable day in the tropical paradise known as the Maldives and the tranquil archipelago of Lakshadweep. The sun rose with its golden hues, casting a warm glow that delicately laid over the endless cerulean sea. The gentle waves lapped against the white sands of the islands, harmonizing with the soft whisper of the palm fronds swaying in the morning breeze. The locals started their day with the rhythmic humdrum of life, fishermen setting sail, women weaving intricate on their looms, and children playing in the sun-dappled alleyways. The islands, tucked away from the bustle of the world, were submerged in the comfort of their serene lives. However, this idyllic tableau would soon be shattered. Little did they mundane choice in the far-off island of Lakshadweep was about to upturn the peaceful rhythm of their day. A diplomatic decision made in the heat of the moment was about to stir an international crisis. Tiny as it might have seemed, it set off a chain of events, causing diplomatic waves that, like the ocean's own, began to ripple outward, reaching as far as the Maldivian shores. But what unfolded next was far from ordinary. To follow the intricate web of this international crisis, and for more fascinating narratives, don't forget to subscribe to VS Facts and press the bell icon. The crux of the controversy revolves around a contentious policy enacted by Lakshadweep. This remote archipelago, rich in natural beauty and cultural heritage, found itself embroiled in a heated debate that echoed across international waters. The leadership of Lakshadweep, in their quest for progress, found it crucial to implement this policy. They argued for its necessity as the cornerstone for modernization and economic transformation of the region. In their view, these changes were a gateway to improve the lives of the native population, opening avenues for development and prosperity. However, it was a decision that was far from being universally accepted and embraced. The Maldives, the closest neighbor and a nation with significant cultural and historical ties to Lakshadweep, perceived this move in an entirely different light. From their perspective, it was less of a progression and more of a violation. The Maldivian reaction was swift and fierce. They interpreted it as a direct affront to their sovereignty and territorial integrity. Their voices echoed throughout the region, resonating with concerns of potential power shifts and escalating tensions. The Maldivian government, backed by its people, stood steadfast in opposition to the policy, interpreting it as a direct affront to their sovereignty and territorial integrity. This disagreement, however, didn't just appear out of thin air. It was born out of deep-seated historical contentions that had been brewing for an enduring period of time. These tensions, ancient and potent, concealed beneath a deceptive veneer of tranquility, like a volcano waiting to erupt. They were enigmatic, hidden under layers of pretense and diplomacy, but were always threatening to surface, always teetering on the edge of explosion. A series of smaller disagreements, misunderstandings, and simmering resentments added fuel to this fire. A fire that was gradually growing, seeking an avenue expression. All it needed was a spark, a catalyst, an event that could push it over the edge and light the powder keg of conflict. And that spark, that fiery trigger, was provided by the events of the 4th of January. The Maldives accused Lakshadweep of overstepping its boundaries, of making unilateral decisions that had far-reaching implications for both parties involved. This accusation was not born out of a simple misunderstanding, but rather it was a deeply rooted concern that had been brewing for some time. The Maldives felt their territorial sovereignty was being threatened by actions that they perceived as transgressions. At the heart of the dispute was a policy implemented by Lakshadweep. The Maldivian government believed that the policy was a calculated maneuver to tip the balance of power in the region, a move that could potentially destabilize the delicate equilibrium that had been maintained for years. Lakshadweep, on the other hand, saw differently. They believed that their actions were justified and that they had every right to enforce their policies. To them, this was more than a mere issue of international diplomacy. It was a matter of domestic concern that required immediate attention and swift action. However, the truth of the matter was far more complex. While Lakshadweep insisted on its right to implement the policy, the Maldives felt their independence was being infringed upon. Each side was steadfast in their position, and the tension between the two continued to build. Lakshadweep, on the other hand, maintained that it was well within its rights to implement the policy, claiming it was a matter of domestic concern. The controversy has raised several questions about sovereignty, territorial integrity, and the fine line that separates them. This debate has extended far beyond the local communities, reaching the ears of international courts and politicians. Each stakeholder defends their perspective with fervor and conviction, making it an intricate web of viewpoints. It's a complex issue, layered like an onion, with layer adding more depth and complications. Each nuance of the argument further muddles the distinction between right and wrong, deepening the complexity of the situation. Serves as a poignant reminder of how even the most serene and picturesque landscapes can harbor disputes. Challenges can be born in the most unexpected places, and even the most idyllic environments aren't immune. It's a reminder that even in paradise, conflicts can arise, casting long shadows over the tranquil waters. In summary, the Maldives versus Lakshadweep controversy is a convoluted tale of differing perspectives and clashing interests. This saga is not just a simple disagreement, it's a complex, multi-layered dispute. On one side, we have the Maldives, a nation valiantly battling to safeguard their sovereign rights and territorial integrity. On the other, we have Lakshadweep, a group of Indian islands trying to make economic strides without trampling on the toes of their neighbors. The controversy revolves around a policy designed to promote development and growth. However, what was intended to be a catalyst for advancement instead sparked a diplomatic crisis that has reverberated far beyond the borders of these lands. This situation demonstrates how policies, no matter how well-intentioned, can unintentionally ignite tensions and escalate into international disputes. Moreover, this dispute sheds light on the intricate workings of diplomacy. It showcases how a delicate balance of power must be maintained to avoid turning allies into adversaries. It's a narrative that underscores the delicate balance of power and the intricate dance of diplomacy. So, the question remains, who is wrong? That, dear avid listeners, is an inquiry, a pondering that spans lifetimes, epochs even. It is a question that perhaps in this complex, intricate, and multifaceted universe doesn't quite have a straightforward, cut and dried black and white answer that one can simply pull from their back pocket. Indeed, we find ourselves embroiled even in the intricate world of politics and diplomacy. In this world, the concepts of right and wrong, moral and immoral, ethical and unethical, are often not as distinct, not as crystal clear as we'd like them to be. They're often skewed, bended, and twisted. They're malleable, subject to the viewer's interpretation, the observer's standpoint. They are, in essence, a matter of perspective, a matter of which side of the metaphorical, or perhaps literal, border you choose to plant your feet on, which side you align yourself with. However, amidst this whirlpool of debate and controversy, amidst this convoluted discussion, justice and fairness, one fact stands tall, unyielding, and irrefutable. This controversy, this intense discourse has forever shifted, transformed, and fundamentally altered the narrative, the story, the tale of these serene, tranquil, picture-perfect island paradises. It has cast a long, dark, ominous shadow over their once blue, sunny, cloudless skies. But one thing is certain, this controversy has forever altered the narrative of these island paradises, casting a shadow over their sunny skies.